Many people try to find encouragement through all sorts of things, from philosophies, different religions, even around Christmas time, people are looking for all these different things that they try to, specialize, find encouragement in, find meaning of life, find meaning in this, find meaning of that. And sometimes it ends up all in vain. You can have people searching for something their entire life, but never really be able to find it or even come in contact with it. But what sets us apart as Christians from anybody else is the God we serve, because He is Immanuel, God with us. So today I'm going to be talking about Immanuel, God with us. I think it fits perfect for this holiday, for Christmas, this holiday season, and it's something that's so good that we revisit and remind ourselves of and really get a better understanding of, because it's such a huge foundation for the Christian faith and what we believe, because we have a real God. We have a living God. We have a God who's with us, not some ethereal projection way off in the sky or some philosophical idea that may have some form of meaning and value, but something real, something tangible, something that is life-changing. And we can see in Matthew 1:22 through 23, it's when this angel comes to Mary. And it says, "And all this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Immanuel," which means God with us. You see, God is with us. God is with you. As born-again believers, we need to understand that God is on our side, that He'll never leave us, that He'll never forsake us, that He is closer than a friend. Because God sent Jesus for that purpose, so that He could be with us, so that He could dwell among us, so that we can know Him and have relationship with Him. And we can see a great analogy of this given in John. So in the book of John 1, it says, "In the beginning was the Word." And the Word is talking about God. It's talking about Jesus. In the beginning was Jesus. "And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through Him, and without Him nothing was made that was made. And in Him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it." And if you go farther down in John 14, 1 John 14, it says, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld His glory, the glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and of truth." So it says that he came to dwell among us. Why? Why does God want to be with us? Why does He want to dwell among us? Because He wants relationship with us. That's the whole purpose of the gospel. That's the entirety from the beginning to the end. It's all about God wanting to have relationship with humankind. God wanting to be with you just simply because He loves you. From the very beginning with Adam and Eve, He made the garden and He walked with them in the garden. To sending His tabernacle with the Israelites, so that He could go with them through the wilderness and dwell with them and be with them in this temple. To sending Jesus so that we could know Him better as a person. To coming into living into our hearts and dwelling inside of us, because He wants that relationship with every individual. He is the God with us. Ezekiel 37:27, it says, "My tabernacle also shall be with them. Indeed, I will be their God, and they shall be my people." Because God wants to dwell with us. Revelation 21:3, "And I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, Look, the tabernacle of God is with men, and He will dwell with them. They shall be His people, and the God Himself will be with them and be their God." He wants us to be His people, and He wants to be our God. He wants that relationship. He wants to dwell with you because He loves us. Jeremiah 31:3 says that He appeared from Him afar, saying, "Indeed, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness I have drawn you." So He has an everlasting love for us, a love to be with us all the time, a love to be with us in every situation of our life, no matter what we're going through, no matter where we are, no matter what's going on around us. God is with you, and He will never leave you, and He will never forsake you. He's always with us. But sometimes I'll hear people say, like, well, I don't feel like God's around me, or I don't feel he's here. I don't feel like he's close. And that's not the truth. We can't just go by our emotions all the time, because God says that he will never leave us or forsake us, that he is God with us. And the only reason people don't feel as if God is with them is it's a sad truth, like an honest truth. But the main reason is because they themselves are drawing away from God. James 4:8, it says, if you draw near to God, he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. So if you say, well, I just don't feel like God is with me, or I don't feel like he's near, I want to encourage you to draw near to him. Draw near to him. Take extra time in prayer. Take extra time reading the word. Take extra time, listening to good preaching, in worship, praising him, singing his name. Because if you say that, oh, well, I don't feel like God's with me. Well, I want to ask you, when was the last time you really drew near to God? When was the last time you really pressed in? You set apart time. You said, know what? I'm going to stop this chaos going on around me. I'm going to take time to draw near to God. Because I can guarantee you, if you begin to draw near to God, he will draw near to you. So we've got to make sure we do that. 1 John 10 gives an example of this. When Jesus came into the world, it says he was in the world, and the world was made through him, but the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to him he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. So what happened? He came, and many people didn't receive him. Many people didn't believe him. Many people turned him away. But there were also others who did believe him. There were others who did receive him. There were others who did seek him. And because of that, they entered into a deeper relationship with God. They began to know him not as the God, the Ephraim God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, but the God with me, the God in me, the God who's always with me in every situation, every circumstance of our heart. Because if we seek him with all of our heart, we will find him. And you see, that's kind of the catch. With what? All of our heart. A lot of times we kind of seek him half-heartedly. Sometimes we get distracted by different things going on in our life, responsibilities, job, work, the busyness of the holidays. But we've got to make sure that we take time to seek God with all of our heart, that we draw near to him, that we build relationship with him so that he can dwell inside us, that he will dwell among us, and that we will know he is there. Not just I don't feel it today, but that I know my God is there because I know who he is, because I have relationship with him. And we need to make sure, that he's never going to leave us or forsake us. We can distance ourselves from God through sin, through our own selfishness, as I said, through the busyness of life and different things like that. But I want to encourage you guys today, set apart time this Christmas. Set apart time if you have days off for the holidays, you're not with family or when things have slowed down a little bit. And set apart time where you really press into the presence of God, that you begin to seek him, that you seek him wholeheartedly, that you draw near to him so that he can draw near to you. Because isn't that what Christmas is all about? The birth of our Jesus, having a relationship with God, and celebrating him as Immanuel, God with us. Again, thank you so much for listening today. I hope this broadcast blessed you, and God bless.